Hey everyone, how are you? It's a little dark because it's so bright behind me. I'm really sorry. I'm going to lean in a bit. I just wanted to go live quickly with Camelback Mountain behind me, which is pretty amazing. I'm in Arizona, down here for some training. Took a couple days R&R. My wife joined me down here. Some amazing views from our room, obviously. Listen, get it in writing. We dealt with this situation. In fact, I'm going to turn this a little bit this way so you can see me a little better. We dealt with this situation recently where there was an offer that was in place and waiting to close. Was supposed to close a few days ago, and what ended up happening was the buyer didn't close, and the buyer didn't close because, long story short, there was tenants in the unit. And it was a fourplex, and there was a tenant left behind. In the offer, it actually said that the buyer wanted vacant possession. When in between the time that the offer was completed and the closing date, at some point, the buyer decided that they wanted one of the tenants to stay, or at least maybe more, but at least one of the tenants to stay. So they had a conversation with the tenant, asked them to stay, tried to negotiate the rent a little bit. It didn't go well, put it that way, and the buyer got annoyed. And because this tenant didn't want to pay what they were, what the new landlord would have wanted, it got convoluted, frustrated. Everyone got frustrated, and the deal didn't close. Now it will be closing. We've made changes and amendments and figured it all out, and it's now going to be closing. But the key here is, at the moment the buyer decided that they wanted the tenant to stay, it should have been put in writing. So that buyer should have gone back to his agent and said, we need it in writing that I want this particular tenant to stay, and we need it in writing right away so that we have it, we know exactly what we want, and we have to have the seller agree to it. So what ended up happening is the seller's sort of liable because the seller's providing vacant possession when a buyer maybe wants the guy to stay. The buyer's kind of a goof because he didn't get it in writing, and now he's going to get vacant possession and doesn't get what he really wants and causes a big stink. So the reality here is, get everything you do in writing, because my whole thing, and what I've learned from a long time of doing this now, is if it's not written, it's not said. That's important. Remember that. If it's not written, it's not said. I wish I could have a hashtag pop up on the screen just as I say that. If it's not written, it's not said. Get it in writing, and enjoy the views from Arizona as I show you around a bit. Have a wonderful day, folks.